So today we're reviewing for our test. We're going to run through the entire review sheet from start to finish, and we're going to show our work. And this is what I would do as if I were taking it. When you divide two things that have the same base, what do you do to their exponents? Yeah, you subtract. So a problem like this looks really difficult, but it's really just asking you to do one thing, right? This is going to be 2 to the 4x minus 4x minus 1, which is the same thing as 2 to the 4x minus 4x plus 1, because the negative gets distributed inside, and which is what? This and this cancel off. You're just left with 1. So it's just 2 to the first, which is what? 2. That's it. That's problem number 1. Next problem. So two problems, they don't have the same base, so try and give them the same base. Yeah, 81 is 3 to the 4th. That's 3 to the 4th times, whoops, in parentheses, and then x plus 2 on the outside equals 3 to the 3rd times 5x plus 4. Not times 5x plus 4, raised to the 5x plus 4th power. Then these two drop down inside, so it's going to be 3 to the 4x plus 8 equals 3 to the 15x plus 12. We're going to set the two tops equal to each other. If you manage to get the two bases to be the same, then these two things right here are equal to each other. So it's going to be 4x plus 8 equals 15x plus 12. Solve that, so we're going to subtract 4x from each side. 15 minus 4 is 11x. We're going to subtract 12 from each side. 11x equals what? 12 minus 8 is negative 4. Divide both sides by 11. That should be the answer. Negative 4 over 11 equals x. Let's see if we got that. Negative 4 over 11. Yeah, there it is, right there. Now, what's another strategy you could have done if you didn't want to show out all that work? What's the primary weakness of a multiple choice question? What's up? Yeah, you could just guess and check. If you do not know how to do the work, multiple choice always has a vulnerability in that you could take the answers and plug them in. Yeah, 3. I could show you a really long and complicated way of doing it. Let's be easy about it. Turn your calculators on, and all you have to do is plug it in. 16 raised, but make sure you put parentheses around it. Done. Find the value of 8 to the 2/3. So here's a way to, so that you can't just plug it into your calculator. You actually have to know how stuff works. What's up, Dorman? Yep. Exponent, index. So this is the same thing as 8. The cubed root of 8 squared. Yeah, right there. B. The graph of that equation lies in which quadrants? In which quadrants? Let's just plug it into our calculator. 10 raised to the x. We're going to graph it. Does everybody remember the quadrants or not really? Yeah, they go in a weird order. This is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So which two quadrants is it in? Good, done. 1 and 2. What's the asymptote of that graph? Yeah, but my question is it x equals 0 or is it y equals 0? What's up? Y equals. Y equals is a horizontal line, so it's going to be y equals 0. Very nice. We are flying through this. Solve that bad boy. Right? Lots of different ways, lots of different things that you could do. What do you guys want to use? Exponents or you want to use logs? Okay. All right, let's see if we could use logs. Logging. Let's try logs. I'm sure it can be done using logs. Let's see. Maybe we'll hit a snag. I'm not sure. If we want to try and do logs, we're going to log up both sides. So that becomes the log of y to the 2/3 equals log 64. 2/3 got to come down in front. Whoops. 2/3 is equal to the log of y, log 64. I don't necessarily know that. You know what? We could do it this way. No, it'll work. It'll work. It'll work. I just need some more room. Sorry about that. Using the logs. Okay, what do we do next? Divide both sides by 2/3. Those cross off. Okay, let's go over here. Log of y is going to be equal to log 64 divided by 2/3. Well, this is the original way of doing it. What do we do next? Does anybody see a way out of this? Sure. Sure. Let's turn it on. Let's go log 64 divided by 2/3. Yeah, nice. So there's really a 10 down over here. So 10 raised to the, weirdly enough, log 64 divided by 2/3 equals y. So all we're going to do is do 10 raised to the log of 64 divided by 2/3, 512. I know. So that, how do you determine it? Well, here's what I was thinking. Yeah, you know, this might not be the best way. The logarithm way might not be the best way of trying to attack this kind of problem because it's only going to give one answer. Let's try using the exponential form. Let's erase this for a second. Okay? Let's try going the exponential way. So let's convert this, right? That's going to be the cubed root of y squared equals 64. What's up? Let's see if this will give us our answer. A lot easier. That log way was complicated. All right, what do you do? How do you get rid of a cubed root? You cube it. Cube it. So what's 512? What's 64 cubed? So it's probably a very big number. 64, 26, 21, 44. 26, 21, 44. And now something squared is 26, 21, 44, right? Let's try and square root it. Square root of 26, 21, 44. And the answer is 512, right? But it's plus or minus because it's going to be positive 512 and negative 512. So that's obviously the better way to go about doing it. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's play again. Let's play again. These are easy, aren't they? Let's try. This is going to be 2 to the 4th raised to the x plus 2. Whoops. The other one is going to be, whoops. 2 to the third raised to the negative x. Same as before, these get distributed inside. You get 2 to the 4x plus 8 equals, whoops, 2 to the negative 3x. You set the two things equal to each other, right, because they have the same basis. This and this. So 4x plus 8 equals negative 3x. I'd almost say I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides to try and get x by itself. So 8 is equal to negative 7x. Divide by 7, x is going to be equal to 8 over negative 7. 8 over negative 7. 8 over negative 7. Whole lot of exponential stuff. Now you could take care of this using logs really easily. Or, Dorman, what's a shortcut? Yeah. Okay. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1, so the answer must simply be 3. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh. Anything to the 0 power is 1, right? So that means this quantity up over here must be equal to 0. So what minus 3 is 0? 3. That's it. Which of the following equations is equal to e to the x? What's up? Well, okay. What's up? If you wanted to reorganize that into logarithmic form, be very careful. Okay? So if you wanted to reorganize into logarithmic form, this would be log with a base of e, right? The result is y equals x. And log e, that's the same thing as ln. So it's really the ln of y equals x. Be very careful. They were just trying to be tricky. Just trying to be tricky. Let's go 11. 11, same idea once again, converting. Convert that into logarithmic form. Let's remember what logarithmic form is. Log, base, result, equals exponent. So, we got log with a base of b, the result was c, and the exponent was a. Log bc equals a. Yeah, that's it. Which expression is not equivalent to the log b of 36? We're going to have to look at all of them individually. Let's take a, for instance. Oh, that's the same thing as, right, numbers in front can pop back on top. 2 to the 6th. What's 2 to the 6th? 64? Ah, it's this one right off the bat. We're done. Do you know what I mean? Because it said not equivalent. Let's just check out the rest of them. So this one was not equivalent. Let's take a look at B. Sorry, I don't want to use it in separate colors. So this is going to be B, if you tried to look at it, would be log B, 6 squared. How much is 6 squared? 36, so it's not U. Let's do this one. This is going to be log B. What happens when you subtract them? Yeah, 72 divided by 2. That's log B of 36. That one's out. And finally, we got this one. Yeah, 9 times 4. So log B of 9 times 4, 36. This one's out. Properties of logs. ln, remember, is just log with a base of e. So we got to do them in order. Let me just write it down first. This thing right here is going to pop back up in front. And then you just go in order. Subtraction means divide, addition means multiply, and it's multiplying and dividing of these quantities right here. So it's going to be the ln, parentheses, x to the fourth, divided by w, should have been w times z, right? Which is the same thing as the ln of x to the fourth z over w. Whoops. All right, here we go. So very common Regents question. All it's asking you to do is take a look at the multiple choice answers. They give you a long question with a formula, and they say, do me a favor, rewrite this formula using logs. All right, here we go. Take this equation right here. Let's rewrite it. So that's going to be the log of r equals log 2gm divided by c squared. Right? So it's asking for what is the log of r. So I'm not going to rewrite this side. I'm just going to take this. I'm going to keep going. So this is equal to the log of 2gm minus, whoops, yeah, log c squared. Well, that's the same thing as log of m minus, this 2 is going to pop down in front, 2 log c. Which one is that? Okay. Piece of cake. Let's play again. Let's play again. This time, does everybody remember? What's the square root symbol in terms of an exponent? 1/2. Very nice, Kelly. So this is going to be log 5 m cubed over n raised to the 1/2. The 1/2 pops down in front. We get 1/2 log 5 m cubed over n. Yeah, that's 1/2 log 1/2, and I should put this in parentheses. Log m cubed minus, and I got to put a 5 down over here. My bad. Parentheses, because it's all of this quantity that was raised to the 1/2. Okay, so then let's just finish it off. 1/2, or is that it? Yeah, 1/2 times. That's really messy. I can't have that on there. Ay, ay, ay. You see, I'm trying to do the problem too fast. What I keep forgetting to do is this has got to come down in front. So we're going to do this in blue. 3 log 5 m minus log 5 n. There you go. Oh, there we go. Which one is it? Good. Yeah, it's B. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. If you didn't do well on your calendar quiz, maybe this problem will be a little bit easier. It's not as bad as there, but similar ideas. Subtraction between two logs means division. So this is going to be log 3, and in parentheses we're going to do x squared minus 4 divided by x plus 2 equals 2. What do you do next? I don't know about factoring it. You know what I would do? You cannot. Don't do that. You cannot do that. You can't cancel things out like that because you eliminate one of the solutions, right? I'll show you. So 3 squared equals x squared minus 4 over x plus 2. But here's what I do want to say. It's an excellent suggestion that you guys made. An excellent, excellent suggestion. So, you know, 9 over 1 is going to be equal to 9 over 1 is going to be equal to x squared minus 4 over x plus 2. Everybody's favorite thing, when you don't know what to do, what do you do? Of course. Let's come back up over here. Let's see, what is this? It's going to be x squared minus 4 equals. Subtract it all over. You get x squared minus 9x. 18 minus 4 minus 18 is minus 22. There's only one thing that makes 22. Guess what it is? Two things, actually. Yeah, 11 and 2. It's x minus 11. X plus 2 equals 0. You set it equal to and solve, but what's the shortcut? Yeah, you just take the opposite of the signs in parentheses. So x is going to be equal to 11, and x is going to be equal to negative 2. But we got a problem, right? We just have to check to make sure that when you plug those numbers back in, inside this resultant, it's a positive number. So let's plug it in. Negative 2 plus 2. I actually think that that is impossible, right? Because we talked about it being an asymptote at 0. Let's see, can we take the log of 0? No, it's a domain error, so we need to change our original rule. It's got to be more than just negative, right? It's negative and including 0. Reject this. Why? Log 0 doesn't work. Does the 11 work? Yeah, 11 squared minus 4 and 11 plus 2. We got positive numbers in there. We're good. There is no formula for this one. If there's a formula needed, I'll pretty much give it to you. The population of a Midwestern city T years from now is represented by that equation. In how many years from now to the nearest tenth of a year will the population be 50 grand? Not 50 grand, be 50,000 people. So where do you sub in that 50,000? Do you sub it in for P or for T? Yeah, you sub it in for P. So 50,000 equals 25,000 e to the 0.05 t. What do you think step 1 is? I don't know if I'd log both. We are going to log up both sides. We're just not going to log them up yet. Yeah, divide by 25,000. Divide by 25,000. What's 50,000 divided by 25,000? So really, 2 equals e 0.05 t. Now you want the long way or the short way? Okay. The short way is something that we learned on Friday, right? Instead of logging up both sides, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to ln both sides. Because if you happen to ln an e, what happens? It becomes a 1. It becomes a 1. And if you were confused about that, you could just use your calculator, right? The ln of e is 1. But you wouldn't be wrong if you logged up both sides. It's just faster to go this route. So let's ln both sides. The ln of 2 equals the ln of e to the 0.05 t. The 0.05 t pops down in front. Ln of 2 equals 0.05 t ln of e. What's the ln of e? 1, so you don't even need to do anything. It's just going to cancel out. It becomes 1. Right? So then the ln of 2 equals 0.05 t, divide both sides by 0.05. Whoops. Let's type that into our calculator. ln of 2 divided by 0.05, 13.86. So what is that to the nearest tenth? 13.9. 13.9 is approximately equal to t. That's it. It's full credit. Okay. Hold on one second. Let's just record for a second, then Jared, you'll yell out. An automobile having an original value of 18 G's when new depreciates at a rate of 18% per year. Determine to the nearest tenth of a year how long it's going to take for the value of the automobile to decrease to 1,000. Show all work. All right. Like I said, I'm going to give you a formula. In fact, I pretty much give it to you in the next problem, but let's see if we can do it by hand. P equals, nope, we need the original amount. Let's see. Okay. So I think it's A equals P 1 plus R raised to the T, right? And it adjusts if we were compounding continuously, but we're not. You see this thing per year, use that formula. Like I said, I'll give it to you on the test if you need it. So, okay, A. A is the ending amount, 1,000. P, the principal, the starting amount, 18,000. 1, it's not increasing, it's decreasing. So what do? Minus 0.18. And what do we want to know? T. We got no idea what it is. Okay, that's easy. That's easy. 18,000. 1 minus 0.18, I think, is 0.82. Raised to the T. What's 1,000 divided by 18,000? Let's see. Not that I don't trust you, Ben. 1,000 divided by 1, 2, 3. Oh, man, that's going to be annoying. You know what? Since I don't want to round, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave it as a fraction because that didn't end. And rounding in the midst of your problem produces a really bad thing. It magnifies errors. How do you solve that? Log it up. Log up both sides. So the log of 1,000 divided by 18,000 is going to equal to the log of 0.82 raised to the T. What's up, Jared? Good. The log of this thing divided by that equals T log 0.82. How do you get that T all by itself? Yeah, you're going to divide both sides by it. So the log of 1,000 over 18,000 divided by the log of 0.82 is going to be equal to T. All we got to do is punch that into our calculators. One, two, three. What's up, Ben? Oh, okay. I appreciate that. That's a good call. Same thing? So what is it what did the original question ask us to say? To the nearest what? To the nearest tenth. So what is that? 14.6. How many questions we got left? One more. Whew. Last one. Let's do this. For this particular test, since I've asked you to memorize so much, any formulas you need are pretty much going to be there in the problem. So the amount of money, A, after T years, the principal will become invested at a rate of R compounded n times per year is given by that formula, where R is expressed as some decimal. To the nearest tenth, how long is it going to take 2,500 bucks to become 4,500 bucks? So 4,500 is going to be equal to 2,500 times 1 plus, what was the interest rate? 0.07. How is it compounded? What's that mean? What's n going to be? 4. 4 to the t. Let's do this. Let's do this. I mean, what's the first thing we got to do? I'm going to be honest, yeah, I'm going to divide both sides by 2,500. Because that 2,500 is really annoying right there. That cancels away. 4,500 divided by 2,500. Does that come out to be a nice number? Yes, thank God. Because I really didn't want to have to keep rewriting that fraction over and over again. Nice. So 1.8 equals, what is all this nonsense? 0.07 divided by 4. What is 0.07 divided by 4? That's perfect. So what is that? This is going to be 1 plus, that's going to be 1 point. What do we do? You've seen this before. The exponent is stuck up top. Log it up. The log of 1.8 is going to equal the log of 1.0175 raised to the 4t. What happens to the 4t? Comes down in front. The log of 1.8 equals 4t log 1.0175. What do we do next? Divide both sides. We're almost there. Stay with me. Log 1.8 divided by log 1.0175 equals 4t. What do we do next? Keep going. Divide by 4. Nice. So, the log of 1.8 divided by the log of 1.0175. That then divided by 4. It's got to be equal to t. Do me a favor. Do that in stages. Plug it into your calculator. Tell me what you get. 8.5. Is that a rounded answer? Good. We're going to put this. You can do it. That's your test. Good luck.